Hello everybody, Ivor here. Music therapist and balance coach. Really glad to speak to you again. I've been reading a great deal lately on the connection between music and weather. And of course, what brought all this up is I live in Texas, specifically what's called the mid-cities between Dallas and Fort Worth, DFW area, North Texas. And we have been getting a torrential amount of rain like a lot of the country has. And I read yesterday that Texas leads the nation right now in the wonderful record of holding the most tornadoes this season. We have had a lot of them bouncing around our area. Fortunately, or by the grace of God, we haven't had any really near us, but it's close enough to kind of give you the heebie-jeebies. Nevertheless, one thing that I think everybody will agree on is the use of music when the weather changes. What do I mean? Well, when I work in psych, one of the things I'll always notice is that people change when the weather changes. Okay, we would have patients that would stay in bed. They were gloomier. They were more depressed. Their depression was compounded by a cloudy or a rainy day, which is two different things according to the study that was done by jointly between AccuWeather, which has billions of followers, and of course Spotify, the music company, music app. The two of them got together to do this study and see how various cities around the world, of course in America and Europe, Australia, and how music changed when the weather changed. And you can find a link to the article down my feeds, both in Ivor Chester and John Chester, and it'll give you the particulars. And there's even more links within it that gives you something even more particular, because they measure the music according to valence, which is how cheerful the song sounds, as opposed to, say, Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and the Waves, as opposed to Eclipse or Brain Damage by Pink Floyd. Both great songs, but there are times when I want to listen to Katrina and the Waves, and there are times when I listen to Pink Floyd. I rarely can listen to The Jump. We discussed this a couple of videos ago. So let me mention some of the points that they brought up. For example, some of the findings, and there's more city-level data in a graphic which I also posted. Sunnier days bring higher energy and happier-sounding music. Okay, no surprise there. Also, in another study that I've read recently, though, for those of us who live in the heat-prone areas of the world, like DFW, North Texas, where we get these long, drawn-out heat waves, we listen to, the weather seems to make us a little more grumpier, okay? So therefore, the music needs change to either relax us, or if we're into more of a metal, we use that as an outlet. Then it says, conversely, on rainy days, people generally tend to listen to lower energy, sadder sounding music. Another one, rainy day tracks were more acoustic than electronic. Okay, now here they're talking about not necessarily its use, but the description of the music itself. They call this more here's a new word, I have to be careful how I say this, organism, or more organic. In other words, it has more acoustic. It's not like techno or metal. So it measures how human a track sounds like a live drummer instead of a drum machine. Some cities respond strongly to the weather in their listening, while others respond less. New York City and Philadelphia are more musically affected by rain. However, here in the DFW or Dallas area, they listen to the same kind of music when it's overcast and when it's rainy, which is two different things. Why? My 2 cents worth, it doesn't go into this in the study. It does say that, it does not say that there's very little difference. We get a great deal less of cloudy days here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So when the clouds do roll over us, it's kind of a relief. And it makes you take a different kind of breath. At least it does for me. I've seen it with my clients and my patients. They just have a different vibe about them. Seattle and Chicago are more impacted by overcast days than rain. Chicagoans are excited by rain, and like most cities, are excited and are least excited by clouds. And our neighbors down in Houston, south of us, responds the most strongly to rain out of the cities of our study, of this study. The acousticness of Houston's listening in the rain increased 121%. And then they go on to describe in the UK, cities like Leeds are happiest on cloudy days, which is bizarre because the UK has a lot more cloudy days than around here. Manchester goes for instrumental music on rainy days. Goes into Australia. Australian cities tend towards acoustic music on rainy days, while Kiwis want acoustic sounding music when the sun's out. Unlike the rest of Australia and most of the world, Brisbane chooses more runnable music on cloudy days. Runnable meaning something a little bit more upbeat. They have a little bit different technology. And by the way, the device that they use, the system that they use to measure the music, the sound of the music. Let me see if I can find it real quickly here. And I can't. There is a system that they actually use to measure the feel of the music itself. So when you listen to it, because we all have this, but it seems like it's just not measurable. But there is a system that they use if it's a happier sound, or if it's a more depressed sound, or if it's something that's more driving. Sure, we all sit there and go, yeah, it's a driving sound, because I've done those experiments in psych as well. But how do they use to measure that? And a lot of it has to do with intervals, it has with chord progressions, it has with vocal or instrumental entrance, exits, what we would call the fidelity of the sound. In other words, how broad the spectrum of the sound is. So, all this said, and please look up the study, and there's other ones out there which I'll get to as well. I think it's very, very, very important that people watch what they ingest, and that's always been my main thing. Watch what you listen to. And if you are, which you are, affected by weather, okay, not just besides getting wet when you step outside, but when you're sitting in your house, when you're at your job, you wake up Monday morning and it's rainy, according to Karen Carpenter's rainy days and Mondays always get me down. If rain really does affect you, and it does, then you're going to have to adapt your playlists. You get your playlists going. You build these in advance. This is Sunday when I'm doing this. How about you spend an hour or so going through the music on your phone or on YouTube or some of your apps, and start to create playlists to help work as a boost for the anticipated change in weather. The rain, the heat, the cold, the clouds, the dangerous weather, like if it's really if tornadoes or hail or really severe weather really psych you out. What are you doing to make it different? Do something besides pop a pill. Pop on some music. Have a mental turntable in your head that works at your command, that you can start pulling the stuff up that's there for you. Okay, it's if you have to have meds to manage an event where you become a panic attack or an anxiety moment, okay, all right, well, fine, but have you tried other things as well to start preparing you for when that moment happens? Try everything possible, and music should definitely be one of those. If you're one of those people like myself that leans heavily on music and you're just blindly using it for entertainment, then you're not really leveraging music to everything it can be. You need to be using it for something that really edifies you, that builds you up. Again, today's Sunday. People use it for praise and worship. People use it in their car to get through traffic. There's a classical music station. I use this a lot here in Dallas, WRRR. It's a good station. And they have a section that's called the Road Rage Remedy. And they play it during the drive home and drive up to help people get through, drivers like me. Okay, so have something ready. Have it at your fingertips. Don't start building it then. It's too late then. Have it ready at your fingertips to where you can just pop it right on and you're ready to go. You're ready to roll. That way, you're more in control of you. And that's what this is ultimately about. people sit there and say, well, cloudy days just depress me. Okay, so what are you doing about it? I certainly understand that. I get depressed on cloudy days. But now, instead of it being something that I dig a hole and go hide, I write, I read, I build, I create, I enjoy, I sit and watch the rain, I meditate, I pray, I have a list of things that I'm really good at doing on rainy days. I'm certainly not good at doing other things on rainy days. So have that list ready. All right? What I want from you, and this is your to-do list. What I want from you, my friends, is I want you to list to me songs that you think of when it's raining. Or it doesn't even have to be rain. What do you listen to when it's really sunny? Or what do you listen to when the snow hits? There was a book out several years ago talked about a character that was really affected by snow. Okay? What do you do for when the weather comes, and it affects us all? What do you do to counteract it? Are you listening to what song? Put that in the comments and tell me the weather. So in other words, when it's raining, I listen to Fool in the Rain by Led Zeppelin. When it's a cold winter's night, I listen to this. And one last thing then, all right? It's 3 components. When the weather is this, I listen to this to get this. 3 points. When the weather is this, when it's cloudy, I listen to this to get this emotion, or to pull me out of this emotion, okay? To cheer me up. So in other words, if the weather's rainy, cloudy, I listen to Pink to pull my mood up, okay? 3 points. I want it from you. Put it in there. And then the call to action on this, my friends, is that you start making those playlists to be counteractive to the weather that's coming in on you, all right? Be in control. All right, my name is Ivor Chester. You can find me on the usual suspects, Ivor Chester 3 at Twitter and Instagram, ivorchester.com, and right here at John Chester. Thanks for your time. Keep listening to the music, folks. It's always playing. Bye now.